Hey, what's up? What's rocking, guys? I'm San Diego, and this is my third guitar lesson. I've gotten quite a few views on the other ones, and I hope my viewers enjoyed them, you guys enjoyed them. So, today we will be doing a classic, probably one of the best songs ever written, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. One of those essential songs, and probably the most well-known riff in history. Alright, let's get started. So, to start off with, the main riff, it's the way, like, every single beginner learns Smoke on the Water as 0, 3, 5, 0, 3, 6, 5, 0, 3, 5, 3, 0. While it may sound like the song and the riff, it's not the right way to play it. And the right way to play it, you don't even use picking, you do chicken picking. So that's basically, you pick multiple strings at once with your fingers instead of a pick to give it a different sound. And, yeah, so the way you play so the main riff goes like this. So it's higher than doing it on the low E. And the way you play it is, so it's just double stops basically, pretty simple stuff. It's a pretty easy song, except like the solo is a little bit complicated, but other than that it's pretty easy, good classic. We got double stops on the 5th fret, on the A and D, and then double stops on the 3rd fret on the D and G, and then double stops again on the 5th fret on the D and G. So you just chicken pick that, and then you do the double stops on the 5th fret on the the A and D again, and then double stops on the D and G on the 3rd fret, except this time, instead of doing double stops on the 5th fret, you do double stops on the 6th fret, but the same strings, the D and G. And then you go back to those double stops on the 5th fret on the D and G string. And then after that, to end the riff, it's just the exact same thing we did at the start. But to end it, we do the double stops at the 3rd fret on the D and G, and then double stops at the 5th fret on the A and D. So it should sound altogether like this. Alright, so that's just the main riff, and that just repeats a whole heap of times, maybe like 8 or something at the start, you know, when the bass comes in. And then after a while, we do this chorus, this verse section that goes like this. That repeats like 4 times, I think. And it's really simple stuff, so you slide into a G power chord here on the 3rd fret. So if you don't know what a power chord shape is, they're always normally the same. There's different variations. But for this power chord, it's a G power chord, so it basically sounds like a G open chord, but it's power chord. And so you got your finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, then another finger on the 5th fret of the A, and another one on the 5th fret of the D string. And the way the verse goes is you slide into the G power chord, and then you mute it, the whole verse is muted, and you just pick in through it. So 3 on the E, 5 on the A, and then 5 on the D, and you just repeat that. And you do that, you pick through it 5 times, and then the 6th time you move your finger down to an F power chord, which is exact same shape. So that's 1 on the low E, 3 on the A, and 3 on the D. You pick through it, and you know, just same thing. 1 on the E, 3 on the A, and 3 on the D. Sorry about that, just got a little bit mixed up. But yeah, so you pick through the G 5 times, and you pick through the F 1 time, and then you pick through the G twice more to end that section, and then you do 5 more times after that. So in a way, it's like 7 times in the F 1 time, but it's really 5 times in the F 1 time, and then 2 more times on the G. That's a better way of picturing it in your head. Either way is fine, but then after you do that, I think like 4 times. So don't forget the 4th time, you pick through the G 5 times, F once, then the G twice again. Then we got the chorus, and the chorus is just pretty simple. It sounds like this. So all that is really, it's a C power chord, and same shape, you know, same fingering. So that is 3 on the A, 5 on the D, 5 on the G, and you just pick through it. But this time you gotta let it ring and pick through it slower. Then this isn't like a specific chord. It's just, you know, random power chord, because power chords can be anywhere in the fret board. But there's a power chord on the 4th fret, and you just pick through that again and make sure you're letting it ring. And that's 4 on the low E, 6 on the A, and 6 on the D. Don't forget to let it ring, and then you just strum a G power chord. Then repeat the same first 2 phrases. But then instead of doing that G, instead we do the main riff again. So you do the main riff twice, and that just concludes the chorus section. So after that, there's another verse, and don't forget, it's 5 times through that muted G chord, picking through it, and then 1 time through the F, and then another 2 times, then twice again through the muted G. Do that 4 more times. Then chorus is exactly the same for the second chorus. Except then what happens next is after that it's the solo. So I'll just demonstrate that quickly. So that solo, things really start to complicate around here. So the chorus, the main riff, the verse, that's all pretty easy stuff. But the solo is a bit more complicated to get it under your fingers. But once you get it, it's really satisfying. It's a really fun solo. And right. So first we start off by sliding to the 12th fret on the D string. Then we play 10, 12 on the G. 10, 12. Then a full step bend on the 13th fret of the B string. No, half step. Then half step bend on the 11th fret of the B string. Then 12 on the G. Then a full step bend on the 11th fret of the B string. Then 12 on the D. So far it should sound like this. Then after that, the next phrase, we do 10 on the G, and then 12 on the G. And this is gonna be, kind of like, well, not that fast, but kind of at a moderate pace, and then so then after that, 10, 12, then pluck the 11th fret on the B, then bend it, then release. No, don't release. Just pluck the 11th fret again. Then pluck the 10th fret on the B. Then the 8th fret on the B. Then the 10th fret on the B again. And then we do a quick hammer-on pull-off. I think this is you call it a legato lick. So what you do is first of all, it's a hammer-on pull-off from the 8th fret to the 10th fret. If you don't know what hammer-on and pull-off, it's like just, I don't know, doing some like random pentatonic pattern, but you make it quicker. You so you only pick once, and while the string's still ringing, you put your finger on in this case, so you got your pointer finger on the 8th fret of the B string. Then you put your ring finger on the 10th fret of the B string. without plucking it, and then you just take it off. But you might have to like bring the volume up for something like this, because like with louder volume, the pickups pick up more. Then you slide down to the 6th fret on the B, and altogether that phrase should sound like this. And then after that we do so it's just you pluck the 6th on the B, and then you pluck it again but bent, full step bend. Do that twice, so 6 on the G normal, bend, don't pluck it while you bend it, just pluck it when it's bent. So you do that twice, then you play the 8th fret on the B, and then you do the exact same thing with the 11th fret of the B, so that you pluck the 11th fret, then you bend it, pluck it again, and bend it. And then after that, it's this kind of like this pentatonic pattern. This bit's kind of, well, this bit's faster than like most of what we've done so far, and it sounds like this. So what that is, it starts off with by playing the So what that is, it's the 8th fret on the high, 8th fret on the B, then the 10th fret on the B, then the 11th fret on the B, then you bend the 10th fret on the B, full step. Then after that you do after the bend, you can bring it up if you want, but it's gotta be fairly quick. Then you do 8 on the B, then 8 on the high E. Then after that you do after that you do 11, 10, 8 on the B, 11, 10, 8 on the G. Then you play 10 on the D, and then 8, 7 on the G. Then you play 10, 8, 7 on the D. Then you play 10, 8, 7, 10 on the A. Then 8, 7 on the D. Then you play 10, 8 on the D. And then 8, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5 on the G. So altogether that should sound like this. So that's a pretty fast lick. Just rewatch it, rewind it, zoom in, because I just guess it's a lot of practice, but once you get it under your fingers, it's a lot of fun to play and really satisfying. It's, like I said before, it's like a really fun solo. And then after that, so the next phrase sounds like this. So what that is, it starts off with so the first phrase, it's the first section is 5 on the G string. So for this first bit, it's all gonna be on the G string. So 5 on the G string, 3 on the G string, 3 2. So yeah, just do 3 2 3 times. So 3 2 3 2 3 2, and then on the third time you go. After you do it the third time, you play the open G string. So altogether it sounds like this. Then you do a bend on the 5th fret of the G string. Whole step bend, or just a bend, you know, as high as you can get it. And then Then after that, you play 3 on the B and then 3 on the high E. Then you do 6, 5, 3 on the B string. Then 6, 5, 3 on the G. Wait, no, sorry, I think I messed it up. Sorry, no, I messed it up. No, then what you do is, so you after the open G string, you do, then you pluck the 3 on the B, 3 on the high E, then you play the 6th fret on the the 6th fret on the B string, then 5 on the B string, then the 3 on the high string 3 times. Then you play 6, 5, 3 on the B, 6, 5, 3 on the D. Then you play 5 on the D. Then 5 again on the G. Then 5 on the 3rd fret of the G. Then you bend the 5th fret on the G string 4 times. Then, so altogether it should sound like this. Those bends are full step bends, by the way. And then after that, you slide into the 7th fret on the G. Then you play 6, 8 on the B string. Then play the 8 again on the G. Then play the 7 again on the G, and then play 6, 8 on the B. Then 6, 8 on the high E string. Then play the 8 twice. Then bend it twice. Then play 8, 6 on the high E, and then pluck that 8 on the B string twice. So altogether, this should sound like this. Then after that, this next bit is a little bit tricky, but once you get under your fingers, it's good fun. So this is the end of the solo, and it starts off this first phrase. It's you play the 11 on the B, then kind of like slightly bend the 10th fret on the G if you want. Well, yeah, it's part of the song, but if at the start if you want, you don't have to, but it's the way it's played. Then play the 8th fret on the B, and then 11 on the B, and then 8 on the high E, then 11 on the B, 8 on the B, and then 8 on the high E, then 11 on the B, and then 8 on the high E, 8 on the B, and then 8 on the high E, then 11 on the B, and then 8 on the high E. Then after that, you play 10 on the high E, kind of like let it ring for a while, then play 11 on the high E, and so that's the end of that section, and altogether it should sound something like this. And then after that, we have these series of bends on the 13th fret of the high E. So you bend the 13th fret 4 times, full step bends. Then release it like this was a bit not too quick, but you release it kind of quickly, and then the 11th fret on the high E, then bend the 13th fret on the B twice. Then after that, do some bends on the 5th fret of the G string. Then while you're doing it, you grab the 6th fret on the B string. So bends on the 5th fret of the G string, and then grab the 6th fret of the B string. Then you bend the 5th fret on the G string twice more. And then just the 5th fret normal on the G string. And then play, so 5-3 on the G. Then 5 on the D. Then bend it twice more. And then after that, you slide into the 8th fret on the B string. So you slide into the 8th fret on the B, then play 6 on the high E, and then play 8 on the high E. Then bend it slowly, like slowly. And then if you got 2 guitars, while the bend on the 8th fret starts playing, if you've got 2 guitars, the other guitar can start doing the main riff again. While the bends on the 8th string are occurring. So all that is, you bend it up slowly, and then you just keep plucking that 8th fret on the high E. Then you release it. Then play 8, 6 on the high E. Then slowly bend the 6th fret on the B string. Bend it twice. Then release it, and then go back to playing that go back to playing the main riff. So if you've got a rhythm and a lead guitar, the rhythm plays it 6 times and comes in around the and the lead plays it 4 times after the bends on the 6th fret. So yeah, just repeat the riff like 4 times. Oh, and also, for Deep Purple doesn't have a rhythm guitarist. So let's say you're in a band where there's rhythm and a lead guitarist, and maybe like you can play the verse riff or something. Whatever you see fit to be underneath the solo. Like I haven't tested it out yet to see what it'd sound like to play the verse riff underneath the solo, but just experiment what riffs that come from the song that you could use underneath the solo if you do have a rhythm guitarist. But so then after that, do the riff 4 times, or like 4 or 2. So it's something like that. And then after that, you instead of slide. It's another verse, but there's only one difference. Exact same amount of times you play it, but when you're going in, you don't slide. You don't slide the power chord in. You pick slide. So if you don't know what a pick slide is, like it's you might need a bit of high volume for this, for like a pick slide. It's like you grab your pick, and then you put it on it. You put it in between 2 strings of your guitar, and then you slide it up the fretboard, or you can slide it down. But in this case, this is gonna be over the G power chord, and you're just sliding. And then you play the verse. It's exact same things before, not a single difference. Then it's the after the verse, you go into the main. No, after the chorus, I mean, you go into the main riff. I think you play that like 6 times, maybe 4. Maybe, it's 6 or 8. I think it's around 6 or 8. That's my estimate. And then after that, when the song fades out, you just do kind of like a bunch of random stuff. So that's just the outro. On the recording, it fades out, but live they play the ending riff to the main riff. They play that and they kind of like add some stuff to it. And if I were you, I'd pick it to so you can like tremolo pick it. But yeah, so if you just want to play along to recording, it fades out, and while it fades out, they're just doing a bunch of random stuff around the general area of where the main riff is played, but it's pretty simple stuff. So just a bunch of double stops and the chicken picking. So all that basically is, it's I'll just say like, so it first starts off with this so that first bit, that first outro riff is so that's 3 on the so that's a double stop on the 3rd fret of the A and the D on the 3rd fret, and then double stops on the 5th fret of the A and the D, then double stop on the 3rd fret of the D and the G, then double stop again on the A and the D on the 3rd fret, then again double stops at the 5th fret of the A and the D, then just do double stops at the 3rd fret on the A and D, and then double stops at the 5th fret on the A and D. Just do that a couple times, and then repeat it. Then it changes slightly, so still the same first bit, but then instead of doing and that, so just say double stops 3, 5, AD, and then you do double stops on the 3 on the 3rd fret, on the G, no on the D, and then the G, and then at the same time, of course, and then on the 5th fret on the A and the D. Then do the 3, 5 on the AD like 3 times, and repeat it. Then after that, I like to do some kind of like exact same thing as that, but just a string higher. So do it twice, and then the second time bend on the 5th fret of the D and the G. Then then just repeat that, you know, then do a bunch of bands. Then, you know, you can do something like that's all that is double stops on the D and G, 5th fret, then same strings on the 3rd fret, then 5th fret on the A and D. Just, you know, improvise, do whatever. And after you've done that for quite a while, then you, yeah, like I said before, I'd pick this, the ending. So if on the recording they just fade it out, but if you want to do it to when they, the way Deep Purple does it live, what they do, they just do this. So what that is, it's the ending riff for the main riff. It's just double stops at the 5th fret on the A, D, double stops at the 3rd fret on the G, on the D and the G, and then double stops at the 5th fret on the D, G. Hang on there for a little bit, you know, like trim and pick it if you want to. Then go back to those double stops on the 3rd fret of the D and the G. Then just go back to those double stops at the 5th fret of the A and the D. You can like slide out of it or just cut it quick if you want to. Whichever way is fine, you know, whatever you want to do. So that's Smoke on the Water. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and please let me know in the comments if there's any song requests you want me to do, you know, any songs, or if you like me to redo any videos, because, I don't know, maybe they're not good enough, anything you want me to, like, flesh out in more detail, and I'll see you next time.